Hi, my name's Caitlyn. I'm from SPINJOY Hoop Dance, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to get your hula hoop from your waist all the way up to your neck with a move that we call the shimmy. And I'm going to teach you how to get your hula hoop from your waist to your shoulders and how to keep it there. First thing we want to be able to do is get the hula hoop from our waist all the way up to our neck. This is a move that I call the shimmy. So we're going to shimmy it from our waist to our neck. First thing we have to do is get our hands inside this gap of the hula hoop. So this negative space on the inside here is called the gap. I'm hula hooping to the left. So as the hula hoop is spinning around to the front, the gap for me is really big here on my left side, and as it comes around to the side of me here, the gap is coming in on my right side. So I'm going to try and practice to begin with just getting my hands into the gap, in and out, not letting the hula hoop touch my hands. So I'll start with my left hand into the front gap at the left, in and out, and pretend like the hula hoop is lava, so you don't want it to touch your hand. In and out, in and out. If that's feeling easy, then you can start to add in the second hand, so right hand at the side, in and out, in and out. Then we can start to go two at the same time. Left then right, spin, spin, spin. Left then right, spin, spin, spin. Left then right, spin, spin, spin. If you hula hoop in the opposite direction, clockwise or to the right, you're going to go right hand first, right hand in and out, left hand to the side, and then right then left, right then left. Once we're comfortable with finding the gap and the negative space on the inside of the hula hoop, we're going to try and put our whole arm inside the hula hoop, and we're going to try and shrug it up to our neck. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to the left, so my left arm's going to go first. Left then right, shrug, 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 up to the neck. Now, the action for getting the hula hoop up is a shrug. So what we don't want to do is a penguin arm like this, pushing out to the side. We're going to do a shoulder to ear, shrug, shrug, shrug. So our arms here are completely deactivated. We want these to be loose, floppy, they're not doing anything. Try to switch them off. And then we're going to go shrug, shrug, shrug. So I'll demonstrate again. I'm hula hooping on my waist, arm in, shrug, shrug, shrug. Now, shrugging up to your neck can take a little bit of practice. There's a few things that we want to focus on here with getting the hoop up to our neck. First thing is the deactivated arms down below and the shrugging action upwards. We need to be pushing the hoop up to our neck. So what's actually happening here is as the hula hoop is rolling around, it's touching my arm and I am shrugging upwards and lifting it. Then it's coming around to this arm and I'm shrugging up and pushing it up another level. So at full speed, it's pushing up, pushing up. We don't want to be pushing outwards, pushing the hoop out. So sometimes that looks like penguin arms sticking out to the side like this. You can even penguin arm all the way up to your neck. That's a groovy move, but you know, something completely different. Another thing we want to try and focus on here with the shrug upwards is when we dive our arm into the gap, we want the hoop to hit us above our elbow. If the hoop is hitting you down below on your forearm, we don't have a lot of control down here. We want it to go up above, upper arm, so that we can shrug upwards. So we need to make sure that the hoop is sitting nice and high on our waist, not down too low at our hips. If you're too low on your waist or down towards your hips, you're going to need to duck and dive in like this, and it's not really going to work. So try and get the hoop sitting nice and high on your waist. Keep it spinning nice and fast. We don't want it to be too slow that it's getting this death wobble on it. So here, if it's going really slow, it's going to drop. So get it spinning fast, push, push, push. Arm goes in above the elbow and then shrug, shrug, shrug upwards. One of the things that can really help get the hoop from your waist to your neck at the beginning while you're getting used to this shrugging action is to spin around at the same time. So you want to turn the same direction that your hula hoop is spinning. My hula hoop is spinning to the left, so I'm going to spin to the left. Same direction as the hoop. And I'm going to do all of those things that I just showed you while spinning. So I'm facing you guys now. I'm about to start to turn. And as I turn, I go arm in, shrug, shrug, shrug. Here we go. Ready? Start to turn. Arm in, shrug, shrug, shrug. And again. Start to turn. Arm in, shrug, shrug, shrug. Up to my neck. And then back down. One more time. Arm in, turn. And it's up. I'll do that from a few different angles so you can see. From the side. Turning helps a lot of our on-body tricks happen magically, especially in the beginning when we're still trying to figure out the moves. When we turn with the hula hoop, it actually buys us time. It's slowing down the movement of the hoop and giving us enough time for our bodies to compute and comprehend exactly what we have to do while we're doing the trick. So, when I'm talking about spinning around with the hula hoop, I don't mean a 45-degree turn and stop because you're thinking so much, which is usually what happens. I mean a full 360-degree spin. So what I usually see happening when people try this at the start is they're ready, they're gonna go, and then they start to go and turn, shrug, 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 and stop. And they stop here, and then they struggle to shrug. I want you to do a full turn. So I'm facing you guys. I'm gonna do my arms and I do a full spin. Spin, spin, spin. You might even need to do 2 spins to get it around, but notice how I'm doing a whip around, a turn, not a half turn, and then shrug, and then continue to turn. Okay, so make sure that you do the full 360-degree spin. When you do get the hula hoop up to your neck, we wanna try and keep it there. At the beginning, your hoop might be a bit wonky, it might not have enough momentum on it, so it could look like this. And then, if it's got that death wobble on it, that's what we call it when we're about to lose it, it's really, really got no momentum and it's gonna go. We need to get it spinning fast again to be able to keep it going on our neck. So if you are at that point where it's really wobbling all over the place, you wanna give a low lunge with your legs and really push into it hard with your neck to speed it up, and then stand nice and straight. So it looks like this. Shrug, getting the wobbles on it, get low, push, push, and then stand up straight. Here on our neck, we're making a nice tight coil from a very still center. So basically I'm just rocking my weight side to side on my feet. I'm not moving too much, it's really tight coil here with my neck. So we just practiced getting the hula hoop from our waist all the way to our neck. Now we want to try and get it to our shoulders and keep it there. Shoulder hooping can be kind of tricky, but this is how I teach it. We're going to do the shimmy or the shrug up to the midpoint of our arm. So we're not going to go all the way up, only a few shrugs. So it's going to look like this. Shrug, shrug, and hold it there. Now here's the thing. The action for shoulder hooping needs to change from the upwards push, where we're pushing it all the way up to our neck, to an outwards push where we're pushing forward and back. So we're trying to keep the hoop going around at this point rather than directly upwards. So here's how I teach it. We've got a funky dance move and it's kind of like you're polishing a hardwood floor, and here I have some beautiful floorboards that need some polishing. So the action that you're going to make with a hula hoop to keep it shoulder hooping is an around and around. So I'm pushing forward with my arms and back with my chest. So from the side it looks like this, around and around. So pushing the hoop around in a circle and around in a circle. The tricky thing about shoulder hooping is that essentially, see this thing here, this line of my shoulders, it's kind of like a rectangle. And we need to be making a circling action with a rectangle here. So imagine that you're going to be polishing a floor. Figure out which way that your hoop is going. Mine goes to the left, so I'm going to be making first circular circles with my hands counterclockwise. So to the left, my hands are circling on the floor like I'm cleaning it, giving it a really good scrub. Now, my floorboards just aren't getting clean enough, so I'm going to put a little bit more effort into it by engaging my shoulders and my chest into the process. So I'm pushing forward and pulling back, still in a circle, same direction that I hoop. Pushing, pushing. Now, my floorboards still quite aren't clean enough, so I'm going to get my hips into it. So circling with my hips and my arms and my back. I know it's ridiculous, but it's fun. And then we're going to get really into the floorboard cleaning and start to dance at the same time. So we're going to turn in a circle the same way. We're circling with our hands and our hips, and it's going to look like this. Around and around. Now this is a really exaggerated version of what we actually do with the hula hoop. So I'll demonstrate. Hands go in, shrug it up to halfway, and then I start to circle, and I'm circling with my arms, pushing outwards with my hands and turning on the spot. Now, with shoulder hooping, it's a lot easier to get this going when you're turning. Again, if you're turning too slow, you're gonna struggle. So if you're not getting enough turn in it, you're gonna have to have all of the action from your shoulders keeping the hoop going. It is easier to let your body help do the work by spinning around. And I mean, not doing a half turn, doing a full turn. So nice fast spins, around and around. And notice here, my hands are out in front. I like to do this little thing here, where I have my hands out in front with my fingers apart, and I'm pushing forward, push, push, push. This just helps to remind me that these parts of my hands are deactivated. They're not doing anything. They're just there looking jazzy. So you got your jazz hands down the front like this, and you're pushing, pushing, pushing. When you want to be able to control the hula hoop on your shoulders, standing completely still, you really need to master the action here of the pushing and making it a bit of a circle, which is tricky. So I would recommend taking your feet wide, knees soft, so you've got a good supportive base that if you need to move to rescue the hoop, you can quickly dive down. And here, it's push, 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 push. Notice how my hands are still out in front. From the side, it looks like this. I'm pushing forward and back, and from the back, push, push, push from the side. Shoulder hooping takes a little bit of time to master, but if you stick with it, you'll definitely get it. Key points to take away from this one are, shrug it up to halfway. Make sure that you're turning when you're doing this. Turning is essential while you're learning. Start with a bigger hula hoop, so the bigger the easier. The hoop that I'm using here is a 90 centimeter weighted dance hoop. So this is approximately 350 grams, give or take. So if you're using a smaller hoop, like a lightweight Polypro or a teeny tiny hoop, it's gonna be harder. So let's just look at what this looks like with a Polypro. My body's gonna have to move faster. Push, 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 push. See how fast I have to move with this? It's exhausting. It's doable, but you do need to train your body to do that. So I would definitely recommend starting with a heavier hoop, working your way down, turning at the same time. Good luck.
You just